Yeah, reverse is the word I use. Reverse, not cure. Yeah. So what the gentleman was saying, uh
We have a program before with
right.
and this we deal with your the holistic and then
Right.
we have the medical.
Right, the allopathic, okay, the allopathic aspect. Okay, good, I follow. Yeah, the people sponsor the program, so it's them out of here. So with that being said, we discussing poor circulation today. We're gonna discuss diabetes, and of course, keep in mind the program is an interactive program. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. And today it's mentioned lifestyle diseases, and essentially that's what most of the diseases that people suffer from are, diabetes, hypertension, poor circulation. So as I said, today we're going to be touching on poor circulation and the complications associated with poor circulation. So
before you get into that, so I know you said that, well,
mhm,
Dr. But for some people who are, like the guy said, the medical doctor,
yes.
doctor, just explain yourself.
Explain, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good, no problem. So I hold basically a bachelor's in holistic health science, a master's in health science, and I have a PhD in natural and integrated medicine. So that's where I got the doctor from. And what that basically means is that you have allopathic medicine, or what is referred to as Western medicine, and that primarily involves one, the dispensation of medication, two, surgical procedures, and three, chemotherapy and or radiation. And that basically is what categorizes what Western or allopathic medicine really is. You have a number of other modalities of medicine. So you have what is referred to as Ayurvedic medicine, which is primarily Indian based, but its root is fundamentally in diet ethics, in lifestyle, and that type of thing. You also have what is referred to as Chinese Oriental medicine, which again has its roots in prevention, bringing balance to the body, equilibrium, that type of thing. So when you look at integrative medicine, what integrative medicine really is, which is where my specialization is you get a little bit of both, but you have to understand when it is needed. Because I work with allopathic or Western doctors. If I have to do, let's say, for example, I'm dealing with a client who has breast cancer, and they would have to get an MRI done, an ultrasound done, whatever the case may be. So the referral is going to be done. The report is going to be given to me. I'm able to read the report, understand the report. But the point I'm making is that that particular situation there, you need that diagnostics. Going forward from there now, we would do whatever treatment protocol is recommended, whether it's 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and then you have a review of all the tests or the diagnosis. So the sonographer or radiographer or whoever is the professional doing, whether it is an ultrasound, an MRI scan, CT scan, now has the other scan to compare to look to see improvement or lack thereof. So that's essentially where they kind of meet and come together. Apart from that, when you're dealing with a particular situation, like let's say, for example, you're a diabetic person and you are rushed to the hospital, your sugar is 500 and something. In a particular case like that, there is no other choice where you're going to have an allopathic or a Western protocol given to you, which is going to be an insulin injection, because you are in an emergency state where your blood sugar is way too elevated, which could cause serious problems, damage to your brain, your eyesight, that type of thing. So as a result of that, because of that emergency situation, there is no other choice but to give you an insulin injection over a period of time, or maybe give you intravenous insulin to bring the blood sugar down because of the crisis that you are experiencing at that particular point in time. Once that crisis has passed, then you get into the aspect of what we do, which is where you actually looking at the lifestyle aspect, dealing with the root cause of the problem. So the topic that I chose today, which is poor circulation, for example, at Batson Associates, you are going to be dealt with in the sense that we have something known as live nutritional blood cell analysis. What is that? That is a process where we actually use capillary blood, which is blood from your fingertips. We put it under a high-powered microscope, magnified anywhere between 3 to 5,000 times, depending on the slide you're using and the background, whatever. But that gives us an opportunity to see a number of things. We're able to see liver conditions, because remember, blood is basically a mirror of you. Healthy blood, healthy body. Unhealthy blood, obviously unhealthy blood. Body, sorry, because blood is responsible for transporting oxygen and nutrients throughout the entire body. So if that whole system is compromised, there is inflammation in that system, it is obviously going to contribute and create an environment that now makes you sicker than you would like to be. So it's simply a matter of really understanding what is causing your problem. I would have given an example before where I would have been speaking about high blood pressure. A lot of people do not know that you have primary and secondary hypertension, just like you have primary and secondary diabetes. And there are a number of different ailments that you may have where uh, doctors will tell you they don't know why you are hypertensive, but they could see that it is secondary hypertension. And secondary hypertension or secondary diabetes or secondary hormonal imbalance is basically as a result of a primary cause, whether it is an endocrine problem, gastrointestinal problem, whatever the case may be. So I said all of that to say that you have to understand that you would need different doctors at different times. When you are in crisis, Batson and Associates is not the doctors for you. You're not coming to us. That's where they have the emergency room. That's where they have the nursing homes for emergency. But when you're looking at the perspective of maintenance, proper management, and reversal, that's where the Batson and Associates comes in. So whether it is diabetes, poor circulation, hormonal imbalance, gastrointestinal problems, whether it be acid reflux, whatever the case may be, that is the objective that we would have in approaching that particular situation. It's not necessarily dealing with the symptom or the secondary aspect, but really dealing with the primary cause of your problem. And that is fundamentally what we do at Batson and Associates. So with all of that being said, let me just give you our clinic telephone numbers. Those numbers for our Shogunas office, which is head office. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And the WhatsApp for that number is 314-9975. That is 314-9975. Of course, third base, you could remind them that the program is interactive and, of course, give them the telephone contact if they have any questions about Batson and Associates, issues, products, services, that type of thing. Thank you.
Yes, so numbers here are 627-3223-625-2257, and your WhatsApp message is 306-1065.
Good. So when we're discussing circulation, so let's touch on circulation a bit. So we're speaking about the cardiovascular system, which primarily comprises the heart, capillaries, veins, arteries, that type of thing. The length, if they were to take all the blood vessels in the human body and put them alongside each other, they would be able to make the circumference of the Earth 2.5 times, which is 66,000 miles. So that's just to give you an example of how extensive the blood vessels and the vascular system in the body is. Now, if the vascular system is compromised, i.e. poor circulation, it can contribute to a number of things. So hypertension, for example, is a consequence of poor circulation. Excessive headaches, poor circulation. Problems with your vision. So if you have been diagnosed with glaucoma, for example, which is high ocular pressure in the eyes, you have two types of glaucoma. You have open-angled and closed-angled glaucoma. Regardless of the type of glaucoma you are diagnosed with, you have a poor circulation problem. Stroke patients, poor circulation. Dementia, poor circulation. Alzheimer's, poor circulation, or a consequence of poor circulation and a few other things. If you have problems with varicose veins, spider veins, pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning on their feet, all of these are indicators that you do not have sufficient blood flow in different parts of the body. I'll give you an example. Most diabetics would end up as amputees, i.e. they lose limbs, one leg, two legs, in some cases a toe, maybe your instep. The reason why that takes place is because that particular person is not really taking care of themselves the way that they should, because that's an advanced situation where the body has completely deteriorated to the point where you do not have sufficient blood flow in various extremities, primarily pulmonary circulation, which is below your heart, so your toes. So the thing is, someone who is in a situation with poor circulation like that, you now end up with what is known as neuropathy. Neuropathy is actually nerve damage associated with poor circulation. So an example would be, let's say you have a garden, you're planting lettuce, and let's say half of the garden is getting water, irrigation, and the next half is not getting. The half that is not getting, eventually the produce or the lettuce, whatever the case may be, is going to die because it's not getting that life-sustaining water in order for it to, do what it needs to do, fertilizer, whatever the case may be. The same applies to the body. If you do not have sufficient blood flow in the extremities, your toes, your ankles, that type of thing, eventually you're going to start to get discoloration. So the foot is going to become very dark in color. And that is a clear indication, like the lettuce that is not getting proper fertilizer, proper water, the cells in the toes, the cells in the ankles, the cells in the lower aspect, close to your calves there, that type of thing, is not getting sufficient blood. So if it's not getting sufficient blood, it is not getting sufficient oxygen, it's not getting sufficient nutrients, the cells, they're going to start to die. So it means you could be walking in your slippers a day and a nail run up in your foot and you don't know, because you're a diabetic with poor circulation, but you also have neuropathy issues. Because once your circulation is poor over a period of time or become compromised, you end up with neuropathy. So the central nervous system is compromised and the nerves do not function as they should. Remember, the main purpose of nerves is basically to indicate feeling in the body, right? It is a stimuli that is very important. You're in a kitchen cooking, you touch a hot pot, automatically you're going to basically give a response, which is where you pull away your hand. A diabetic or someone with very poor circulation doesn't have that because the nerves are damaged, and as a result of that, the nerves do not function. So you don't get that stimuli. So that particular person gets a nail joke, and then their foot start to give them problems. And those are a number of the things that we do at Batson and Associates, because we do run an integrative diabetes center, which is where we deal with diabetics who are looking for improvement in circulation, neuropathy issues, that type of thing. Eye problems is the next thing. When you look at someone who has poor circulation, if you're not getting sufficient blood flow to your brain, again, the same analogy I gave with the garden and not getting sufficient water. So if your eye cells are not getting sufficient blood, sufficient oxygen, sufficient nutrients, you're going to end up with something known as diabetic neuropathy, not neuropathy, sorry. You're going to end up with what is known as retinal detachment, or what is known as diabetic retinopathy, which is when the retina, which is the back of the eyes, actually becomes detached. So the blood vessels leading there actually detaches itself because of poor circulation. And as a result of that, you now have blood building up in the back of the eyes, and that person could eventually go blind. Again, that is something we successfully deal with at Batson Associates. But the audience has to understand that, again, it is a matter of dealing with the poor circulation. So you maybe have glaucoma, you may have cataract, and you may be using eye drops because they normally give you beta angiogenic eye drops, beta blockers, that type of thing when you have glaucoma. The issue is, are you really dealing with the root cause of the problem? Are you fixing the circulation? How is your hydration? I always speak to people about water and the importance of drinking water, which is drinking your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. If you're not doing that, then it means you are dehydrated and you're placing yourself in a situation where your poor circulation, you could actually become or get poor circulation, or the poor circulation that you already have has become worse as a result of the situation where you are dehydrated.
Many people always call up body tingling in the feet.
Yes.
Sign up.
Correct. Very good question. Yes, it is. The medical term is neuropathy, but the colloquial term is, junjuni, pins and needles, cramping in your calves. You feel like things walking on you. There's a clear indication that your body is telling you, listen, we're not getting sufficient blood flow in these areas. And as a result of that now, we are having problems. So at Batson and Associates, we carry a number of products for poor circulation. There's a product we carry called Circulation Tea. And what that product is basically designed, a tea, simple tea, but hot water only, no milk, no sugar in that. And the thing is, what it does, it helps to stimulate circulation in the body. Now, the vascular aspect of the body, one of the things a lot of people have issues with is something known as the endothelial lining in the blood vessels. So all blood vessels, whether it be capillaries, arteries, or veins, are lined with cells called endothelial cells. And the endothelial cells are what are responsible for proper oxygenation and circulation of the blood. Most people, those things tend to become compromised. So hence you're getting those symptomology, or that particular symptomology, where you have pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning under your feet, blurred vision, headaches, dizziness is another thing. A lot of people have problems with dizziness, where they feel they may be diagnosed with what is known as vertigo. which is where you have this feeling where you're not getting sufficient blood flow to your brain. So you feel dizzy, you feel lightheaded. In some instances, you could actually black out. I have known of persons who it happened to them actually driving, and this person was a serious diabetic. They came to us afterwards, and we were actually able to correct the situation over a period of time. But it's very important that, you know, if those things are happening to you, that you really seek attention, or seek dealing with that particular situation. So you can feel free to give us a call or visit. Again, those telephone numbers and locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Keep in mind, you can like us, share us, and follow us on social media. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, we are Dr. Batson. So you can feel free to add us there, share us. We actually have a Mother's Day promotion that we are doing where you could actually give your mother a gift of good health. And that particular promotion, we are doing 20% off our entire consultation package, which includes executive consultation, live blood analysis, dry blood analysis, magnetic resonance analysis scan. And let me just say quickly what a MRA scan does. It is almost similar to MRI, which is magnetic resonance imaging. The thing is, with a MRA, you get magnetic resonance analysis, and it actually gives us the opportunity to look into the body. It's a non-invasive procedure, but what it does is that it actually sends weak magnetic waves through the body. The thing is, everything in the body is frequency or vibration. So all the cells in the human body give off a different frequency. So your liver cell, for example, is going to have a different frequency as opposed to a cardiovascular cell, or as opposed to a cell in the lungs or the liver. All cells have different frequencies at which they function. So what magnetic resonance does is actually pick up those frequencies and now give us a report on different organ systems in the body. So for example, you may have a problem with your kidneys and you're not aware of it, because we have so many persons ending up on dialysis now because of kidney failure, unknowing to them. So they may have been suffering from diabetes or hypertension for 10 years, 15 years. And they're doing, you're doing your stuff, you're taking your medication, you're doing different things. And only to realize later on that your kidney is 4%, or your kidney is at the fourth or the fifth stage, which is early stages associated with renal failure. So, at Batson and Associates, we are very proactive in our diagnostics, in actually helping persons not to reach to that situation, or if you're in that situation, to bring about reversal. And as I said before, it is a matter of dealing with the root cause of the problem. Okay, sir? So, over to you. Yes, sir.
I have two questions. I get a numbness in my thigh area. I am not diabetic. It happens when I stand too long. Then it feels cool in the leg area.
Okay, again, yeah, that's poor circulation. And the thing is, even though I'm speaking about diabetes or poor circulation associated with diabetes, you can have poor circulation and not be a diabetic. So persons, for example, who stand long hours, barbers, cooks, nurses, doctors, security officers, that type of thing, police officers, you usually find these persons have problems with circulation, especially in the lower aspects. So they can end up with things like deep vein thrombosis, which is clots in the legs and that type of thing. So again, that's a situation you would want to correct. And as I said, we carry a number of things at Batson and Associates to deal with that. I do always recommend that you do a consultation at least, so that with the consultation, especially if you're on serious medication or a lot of medication, so that we're actually able to dot our I's and cross our T's. Let me clear up something quickly as I'm saying this, because the thought just came to me. A lot of persons are of the perception that you cannot use integrative medicine with Western medicine. That's not true. That's not true at all. In the sense that we have treated persons for years. Like, for example, I have diabetic clients. I could give you a quick example. I may have a client who is diabetic. They might come to us, they're on metformin and glucophage, which is two diabetic medications that are usually used to treat type 2 diabetes. Now, the thing is, we would do an analysis on you, we do a consultation, and we would realize, okay, you have problems with your gastrointestinal system, your food is not digesting properly. Anyone who has diabetes has a digestion problem. Plain talk, bad manners. You have a digestion problem. If you are diabetic, type 1, type 2, regardless of the type of diabetic, type 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, one of your major issues, one of, not the only reason, is you have a poor digestion issues. You do not assimilate food properly, primarily proteins. You do not digest carbohydrates properly. You do not digest lipids properly. And as a result of that now, you later on end up in a situation where you have diabetes. So as I said before, it's a matter of really addressing the root cause of the problem. And as I said before, allopathic medicine and integrative medicine, it can be used side by side. It's a matter of dealing with a trained organization like Batson Associates, where we can actually work with our clients, so much so that sometimes when they go back to the doctors tell them, well, okay, your blood sugar reading good, we see this reading good, this has improved, so come off this, stop taking this, now do this. And that is what a lot of persons want, because you don't want to be on too much medication, because at the end of the day, when you're on that amount of medication, responsible doctors are supposed to be checking your liver and your kidney on a regular basis to determine if there is some sort of damage. But I mean, common sense made before book. You wouldn't tell me the bandit inside by me when the bandit fish in the house. I want to know when you're outside the yard. So you want, in other words, you want to be as proactive as possible and not reactive, because usually when you're reactive, it is too late. As the old people have a saying, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Next question.
Next question here. What do you think about laser therapy to treat sciatica and inflammation?
Laser therapy to treat sciatica and what was the other thing?
And inflammation.
And inflammation. I mean, laser therapy has its benefits. I mean, it has its pros and its cons rather. It is somewhat slightly invasive. It may not be considered a fully invasive procedure like surgery and certain types of procedures, but there is some invasive aspect associated with it, sorry, especially if you're dealing with the eyes. They use a lot of laser surgery injections when they're dealing with persons who may have detached retina, problems with macular degeneration, various problems associated with poor eye health. My advice where that is concerned, always do invasive last. If it is an emergency, then you have no choice in the matter, and you have to take part of the blame for that, because sometimes a lot of persons know they're sick, they're sick, and they just take things for granted until they reach the point where they are actually in a crisis, and then you end up in the hospital in the emergency room. So the thing is, you want to avoid that. You want to, as I said, really get to the root cause of the problem and begin that transformation, which is going to involve some sort of dietary something, some sort of exercise or some sort of physical activity, but most importantly, the nutritional aspect of what you're getting and what you're not getting. And as I said, that is one of the things that we actually do at Batson and Associates. So we carry a wide range of products for poor circulation. We have the circulation tea. We have a product called balanced circulation and advanced circulation. Those two I know we will get in stock the middle of this month here. And those products are basically designed primarily to help with circulation, regardless of the type of circulation. A lot of clients are very satisfied and get very good results with that. So again, that is something that you could give us a visit on, give us a call on. We have any more questions? Okay, good. So let me again say a pleasant good afternoon to our social media. Ms. Michelle Rampasad, a pleasant good afternoon to you. This is on our Facebook. Remember, we are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. And someone is asking a question here, actually. She is asking Ms. Maureen Tull. She says, hi, Dr. Batson. Is there anything someone can take for kidney stones and renal cysts on the kidney? Okay, good question. The thing is, when you're dealing with kidney stones, you primarily have 4 types of kidney stones. You have calcium stones, you have magnesium stones, you have uric acid stones, and you have combination stones. So if you are diagnosed with kidney stones, they do an ultrasound, they realize you have stones, or you may have history with stones. They can be any of those: calcium, magnesium, uric acid, and combination stones. White stones usually tend to be calcium stones. As regards to what we carry at Batson and Associates, we do carry a kidney tea. We also have something known as Kidney Revitalize. We carry a product called Optimizer as well, which is designed to remove cysts from the body. We also carry a product known as Inflammation Formula. And Inflammation Formula was primarily designed to reduce high inflammation in the body. So let me quickly explain something. Inflammation or inflammatory response is primarily the root cause of all disease. And this is something that the medical community has known for years, but of course it has become more and more focused on within the last maybe 20, 25 years now, or about 15 years. One of the things as an integrative practitioner is I decided to do inflammation formula or have inflammation formula done for us. And it would work similar to how steroids would work, like prednisolone and that type of thing. Because prednisolone is usually recommended or is one of the most widely recommended drug in the medical field. Simply because it reduces to an extent inflammation in the body, but it doesn't really reduce per se. It more suppresses the inflammation more than anything else. So you find it's usually recommended for people who have rheumatoid arthritis, if you have lupus, if you have any inflammatory or what is referred to as autoimmune disease. A lot of people do not know that diabetes actually falls in the category of an autoimmune condition. So with that being said, it means that you have to now deal with the inflammation. And that is one of the products that we actually use to naturally reduce inflammatory response in the body. Because that is where the healing is going to take place. Once inflammation levels are out of sync, you are going to be in problems. Because what it actually does is that inflammation increases cortisol. What is cortisol? Cortisol is the stress hormone in the body. So once you have elevated hormones, cortisol in the body, it makes it very easy for a number of things to happen to you. Heart attack, stroke, situations associated with dementia, Parkinson's, problems with neurological issues, insomnia, anxiety, depression, all those things can happen to you as a result of high levels of inflammation in the body. Blocked arteries is inflammatory response in the arteries. So it's a matter of actually reducing the inflammation naturally. And once you do that, you find that you now create an environment that is conducive to healing or getting better. There are a lot of persons, I tell them, they might figure it sounds, I don't know, facetious, rude, but it's not that. You cannot get better if your inflammation levels are high in the body. It does nothing. It just does nothing. Because inflammation creates an environment that is conducive for disease to flourish. And that's basically, even in the forms of when you're dealing with cancer patients. I mean, we do diet ethics for cancer patients. I do treatment protocol for cancer patients. You know, you're doing chemotherapy, you're doing radiation. You can't do chemotherapy and radiation unless you have a proper diet. You cannot. Cannot. I don't care.
Question here for you, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I'm a 51-year-old female and have poor circulation, diabetes, anemia, high cholesterol, hypothyroidism, constipation, blurry vision, cramps, and burning in different parts of the body. Could you help?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely we could help. Definitely. But what I'll tell you, you need to make an appointment. That's definitely an appointment. You know, and yes, so those numbers again for Shogunas, that number is 2228261. That's 2228261. Debe is the corner of Ramsamoon Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number for St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is, of course, the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. Tobago actually got their new office. On Monday, we opened a much larger office. So congratulations to the people of Tobago. You'll be getting all your stuff, your blood analysis, your scan, your detoxes, your massages, everything like that. So again, that number for Tobago and that location is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That's actually opposite Wassa in Tobago there. And that number again is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. Over to you, sir. Any more questions?
All right, no, that's it for now.
Okay, you could always remind them of the number again, please.
The numbers to call 627-3223, 625-2257, 3061-065 on the WhatsApp. And we have just about 2 minutes.
Okay, good. One. Okay, I thought they told me I was going until 2 o'clock. Okay, that's no problem. So
We started at 2:15, so it is 2:45. Yes, you are going until 2 o'clock. Minus leaks.
okay, yes, right. So as regards to cataracts, so let me just answer this question quickly. Miss Cathy Clark says, "Hi, Dr. Batson. How can I get rid of cataracts?" The thing is, cataract is actually mineral buildup on the lens of the eye. All right, let me see how quick I can explain this. So your lens is primarily responsible for sight because, well, one of the parts of the eye is that responsible for sight. The thing is, when your lens become opaque, it means that you actually have build-up on the lens of the eye itself. So imagine a dirty window or your windscreen is dirty. Obviously, visibility is distorted. The same appears or applies to your eyes. So that's what cataracts are. The thing is, you have three types of cataracts. You have very early stage of cataracts. Those are referred to as young cataracts. You have what is known as intermediate cataracts, and then you have advanced cataracts. In all instances, we do deal with that because there's an eye drop we use called eye optics formula, which is actually designed to dissolve and remove cataract buildup from the eyes. Because remember, it is actually mineral buildup, which is a combination of things: protein, calcium, magnesium buildup on the eyes. And that usually happens to persons who do not assimilate protein properly. Certain types of medication can cause cataract as well. Prednisolone or steroid medication can contribute to serious eye damage. Insulin use is also one as well. Persons, you find diabetic patients who have been placed on insulin, their eyesight tends to deteriorate very quickly because of how insulin operates in the body as it relates to glucose and that type of thing. The eye optics formula is really eye detox. Is an Ayurvedic preparation, which is basically used 2 drops in your eye morning and evening. It can be used with allopathic eye drops, so it can be used with things like Zalatan, Kosap, Alphagan, Lumigan, whatever eye drop you may be using, especially if you are diagnosed as glaucoma, because they don't really give you eye drops for cataract. Only in integrative medicine you would get eye drop for cataracts, and that is something that you could actually look at, dealing with as well. In addition to that, someone is asking a question. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Michelle Rampasad. So keep in mind, if the cataract is just started, it's a young cataract, well, then the eye optics formula is going to get rid of it very quickly for you. If we're dealing with a mature cataract, which is usually a little more difficult, then you're going to need the eye optics formula, and then there's another eye drop that we carry called MSM. And the reason for that is that you need to actually clean and detoxify the eye more in a case of a mature cataract because of how hard the lens may actually become. One of the things that a lot of people do not understand, again, dehydration plays a significant role in cataracts as well, and a number of issues. So again, the rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. That's simple maths. However, how much ever you weigh, if you weigh 150, 250, 300, divide your weight by half, and the ounce equivalent of that you convert to liters or ounces. I mean, either way. So let's say, for example, you're 160 pounds, half of 160 is 80 into liters, if my memory serves me right, would carry anywhere between maybe about 1.75 to 2.5 liters of water for the day, minimally. Good. So that is something that you need to pay attention to. We do carry a premium alkaline water at Batson Associates. It's called Alkagen, and that is available at all of the offices. You can take a look at that as well, because one of the things that actually does is help with something. It has something in it known as ORP. ORP is oxidative reduction potential, which is just a big term to me. That is actually an antioxidant water. So you find the hydration is better. And of course, one of the problems a lot of people have as well is that they drink water. They may drink a lot of water. So you hear people say, but I drink a lot of water. I always drink in water. The problem is your body is not utilizing the water. So why? Why is that happening? Is it that you're drinking cold water? Is it that you're not drinking your water within appropriate spaces? Is it that you're eating and drinking simultaneously? So sometimes you have to look at what you're really doing, and then based on that, you may have to change certain things in order to bring about the results that you're looking for. Okay, so
Exactly to drink water, to be drinking water.
beg your pardon, repeat that, sorry.
It's the right time to be drinking water. A lot of people like to drink water first thing they wake up in the morning.
Okay.
They have it before
Good.
Before you sleep.
Excellent question. Basically, you should drink water throughout the day. First thing when you get up in the morning, I normally drink about a liter of water first thing in the morning. I don't drink all one time. I do that maybe over a half an hour period, and that's very good because it actually jumpstarts your organs. Because remember, while you were asleep, there are a number of things that was taking place there. Your body was recuperating. Your body was actually undergoing a fast and certain things. So it actually needs proper hydration when you get up in the morning. The first thing you should have on your stomach in the morning is water. not soft drink or coffee or anything like that. And you should drink water throughout the day on an empty stomach. I.e., an empty stomach would be considered either an hour before or 2.5 hours after a meal. So throughout the day, once you use that system there where you're drinking water either an hour before or 2.5 hours after a meal, you're going to be okay. You should not drink right after a meal or right before a meal, unless it's a hot cup of tea, and it should be at least maybe about 15 to 30 minutes before, because that actually stimulates digestion and that type of thing. There's a tea we carry at Batson Associates called gastrointestinal, which is a tea designed to help with people who have things like acid reflux. You know, there are a lot of people who have problems with the stomach. Yeah, a lot of burning. You feel as if your food want to come back up, the funniness, bitterness, or that bitter taste in your mouth and that type of thing. And those are normally indications of improper digestion in the body. So again, those are things that you could actually do to correct it. Cold water is not your friend. No way, under no circumstances. I know the place is very hot. It is exceptionally hot and humid these days. So it is tempting, but drink your water room temperature. You're going to thank yourself later on. When you drink cold water, there are a number of things that happen. One, you impede digestion. So you slow down the digestive process in the body. Two, you interfere with the muscles in the heart and various aspects of the cardiovascular system when you drink very cold water, especially on a hot day. You literally can give yourself a heart attack doing that. So it's very important that you follow those requirements as regards to hydration. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Cathy Clark. She's actually messaging us from the US. We have a question here quickly. Miss Batiste is actually asking Santulan, who can use Santulan? Okay, Santulan is a product that we carry at Batson Associates. It's a 7-channel detox. So what is that? You have 7 channels in which your body cleans itself. So your kidney is an organ of elimination: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So you're working in an office, 7 people working in the office. You have accounts, operations, human resource, and the list goes on, right? But 4 people come to work, and you have to do the work at 7 because the office have to run. The same applies to a number of people when you have problems. So, for example, people have problems with the skin. So you have eczema, you have atopic dermatitis, you get a fancy diagnosis. What you really have is a situation where one of the other organ systems in the body is not functioning properly, and the skin is actually taking up the slack. You have problems with bad breath, you have problems with perspiration, you have problems with your hair falling, you have problems with dandruff, you have problems with your skin. It is an indication that those other channels of elimination not functioning properly. As I said, you have your kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Those organs must work together to eliminate waste from the body. Let me say something quickly. There are a lot of people who have the perception that you shouldn't take a detox. I feel sorry for people like that, because that's the reason why a lot of them sick, very sick, and don't ever get better. Don't let anybody fool you with that piece of nonsense. You brush your teeth on a daily basis. You usually brush your teeth, every time you eat? That's the correct thing, right? Some of us may not get to do it lunchtime, but you at least brush your mouth in the morning and in the night before you go to bed. Now think about this. You usually go to the dentist, or should go to the dentist, every 3 months, maybe every 6 months, to do a cleaning, right? Deep cleaning, where they will clean your gums and whatever the case may be. I don't know if you ever visited the dentist third base and take clean your teeth, but usually you're going to see a lot of things coming out from there. The point I'm making is this: your teeth is generally exposed and your teeth is cleaned on a daily basis. But still, if you go to the dentist, look at what comes out of your mouth. So let's now change that and imagine an enclosed dietary system. So you're not dietary, sorry, an enclosed gastrointestinal system. So when you eat, you have your esophagus and the different aspect go down to your stomach and that kind of thing. That entire area is enclosed. It is encased. It's not like you could open up your chest and scrub out your esophagus, scrub out your stomach. You can't do that, right? So the point I'm making, if that happens to your mouth, imagine what happens to your inside. Think about that for a minute. And all the meals that you would have eaten. We have 365 and what, a piece a day in the year. Most people eat 3 times for the day. Most. Some people eat 2 times. Do the maths. 600 and something, 900, over 1,000 meals. Think of all that you would have drank: the alcohol, the soft drink, the coffee, the tea, the juice, the candy, the sweetie, the currants roll, everything that you would have eaten, the fudge, the tulum, everything passed through there. When was the last time you took a good detox. So please don't let anybody pull all over here and talk nonsense here and tell you don't take a cleanse. You'll be doing yourself a serious injustice if you do not properly detox your body. You are going to end up in problems. There was a doctor that did a study from Harvard University some time ago. And one of the things that that study showed is that he looked at children who suffered from ADDH, attention deficit, ADHD, my apologies, attention deficit hyperintensity disorder. So these are children that they tell you have no behavior and they do not focus and they're hyper, which most of the time is because their parents giving them too much of sugar to eat and feeding them foolishness. And that's why they behave like that. But in any case, when he did his research, he looked at the intestines of these children by doing various tests, blood tests, urine tests, and that type of thing. Of the group that he examined, which was over about 5,000 children, about 4,995 of them had gastrointestinal problems and they had toxic buildup in their body. And these are children. Their ages range from 10 to 15 years. So that's just to tell you, and that is just attention deficit hyperintensity disorder. So imagine someone who has insomnia. If you have problems with headache, your head always hurting you. You always have a headache. That means you need to pay very close. It means that toxic buildup is in the body. One of the things I'll share quickly, toxins and pathogens are either bacteria, virus, fungus, protozoa, or worms, and toxins are numerous. There are different types of toxins that could be stored in the body, thousands, millions. They have the ability to hide themselves in your tissue for years. So like toxins could actually hide in your body or store themselves in your tissue, which is why when people are obese, when you have a lot of weight, especially around your abdomen, sometimes your legs, that type of thing, what the body does, it actually stores toxins in the fat so that the body could protect itself. Because if the toxins remain exposed to certain cells, it could actually damage the body, especially the neurological system. So your body actually has a fail-safe where it would actually store toxins in different parts of the body. Now, that is not healthy overall, but the point is, it is actually in a part of the body because your body cannot deal with it right now. The point I'm making is that if you do not do detox, if you do not drink sufficient amounts of water, you are going to be in problems. And that is something that you need to pay very close attention to. So again, feel free to give us a call or visit. Keep in mind, we have a Mother's Day special that we're actually running for mothers. So you can also look at that. You can always share us, like us, add us on social media. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad, and on TikTok, it's Dr. Batson. Keep in mind those telephone numbers and locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks Building. That's Money Talks Building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Davie is the corner of Ramson Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Davie. That telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number for Tobago is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. Any questions, sir?
Yeah, in terms of the detox, what does your detox entail?
Okay, but so Santulan is the basic detox that we would do, and that basic detox is one that is generalized that a number of people could use. I always try to advocate people who work in oil and gas, people who work as auto mechanics, people who do body work, because these people use a lot of dangerous chemicals on a daily basis. Hairdressers, if you're in welding, if you work on oil rigs and those type of things, you're constantly exposed to certain things, and those people need to take more detox than anybody else because those things are carcinogenic. They can cause cancer. So what Santulan does, as I said, is a 7-channel detox. It's primarily a liquid detox. So it's a tea bag that you actually use to make tea, a certain amount of tea. And you would basically drink that on a daily basis. The good thing about it, you can actually use it and work, because the problem with a lot of people is that they don't take detoxes because they think they have to take a day off. You can actually use Santulan and work because it's calculated in the way that it actually sends you to the washroom. So if you drink it like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll get a bowel movement 6 to 8 hours later. So you're comfortable in your house in the night or early in the morning, so you don't have a problem. Good? So that's one of the things. I know our time is also up. So with that, you can feel free to give us a call and you can get more answers to those questions that you may have as regards to the products and services at Batson and Associates. Keep in mind our social media, Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And TikTok, it's Dr. Batson. So with that being said, my time here is saying 1:59, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. To the listeners of 106.5 FM Freedom, thank you very much for your time and do enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Third base, sir. A pleasure. Until next week, sir. Take care.
Thank you very much there, Mr. Batson. Of course, the nervous system is the major controlling, regulatory, and communicating system in the body. It's the center of all mental activity, including thought, learning, and memory. Visit Batson and Associates right today, of course, 222-8262. Find out all he has to offer. Make an appointment today for your nerve restoration. Of course, reducing anxiety, fight depression, improve sleep, and boost your brain function, immune system, and fertility. Also, your testosterone. Thank you very much, Mr. Batson.
For the entire month of May, Freedom 106.5 and Guardian.
Yes, that was a good program, man.
We are about to start the next program at 2:15.
2:15, yeah. So social media, as usual, is always a pleasure in your company. Miss Michelle Rampersad, Miss Marva Huggins, Miss Pat Travis, and Ashton. So any questions that I would have had here that I didn't answer, I will answer while I'm doing DJ Mamu program. Yes.
Are we doing a question and answer on Sunday?
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a question and answer on Sunday. Miss Kamala Samaru, always a pleasure with you guys. Miss Michelle Rampersad, she said vertigo. I have this problem. Also, I am from the USA. Yes, Miss Michelle, we could work with you. Miss Alison Bridgelal, good day to you. I do enjoy your program. Thank you so very much. So, guys, Sintra L Ramada, good day to you. Lauren Forbes, good day to you. Why you abandon us in Tobago? Oh, I did not abandon you all. I had some I had some serious things to take care of. But I left you with an excellent steward, Miss Stuart rather. Miss Ramdan is actually in Tobago. She's working currently. We have our very qualified and competent blood microscopist and senior consultant, Miss Karishma Ramdan. And she will actually be in Tobago until tomorrow, please God, the end of tomorrow. And of course, we'll be organizing how we structure Tobago. We just wanted to open that office, and that is something that we have done. So it's only from strength to strength from there. Okay. So join us in the next few minutes where we will go with DJ Mamu on djmamuradiott.com live, and we're going to have a program for an hour. Okay. So take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And those of you who will be joining me, well, see you in a bit. Sorry. Take care.